Marriage isn't happiness. Now, this can go one or two ways. Before we talk about it and explain this, because this can get deep,
we're Terrence and Jill of God-Ordained Union, and we have been married now for just under 4 years.
Yes.
Okay, but we're here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to help increase God-Ordained unions.
Yep. So if you are single and you desire to be married, wondering if God wants you to be married, yes, He does. God ordains marriage. You are on the right channel, because on this channel, we encourage marriage, but not just marriage to your person. So if you're wondering where your person is, what you're doing wrong, did the Lord hear your prayers? What's wrong with you? Why is everybody else getting married? We understand that was our story. At one time, I was almost 50 when I came across Terrence profile on an outdated profile on a dating site, and I was 52 when I walked down the aisle. And what you was 54?
Yeah, I was 54 when I watched her walk down the aisle.
Yep, and Terrence was 16 years between
my first my divorce and then remarried.
Yes. So we've been in the waiting room for a very long time. So we understand what you're going through. We're your biggest cheerleaders. This channel is all about encouraging singles who desire to be married, because we're pro-marriage. We know the beauty and the benefits of marriage, and we know that God ordains marriage. So make sure you turn on your notifications. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you comment. All that great stuff. We go live every Tuesday.
Yes, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, and we do pre-recorded videos like this one drops every Sunday and every Thursdays at 8 p.m. But full disclosure, this video might be dropping on Monday because we're recording it a little late on Sunday. So just in case, it might be Monday when this video drops. We don't know yet. Depends on how long it takes to load up. But we also have a private group that meets every first and third.
Yes, first and third Tuesday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. We also have a prayer call that we're part of. We invite you to join us. It's a midnight prayer call on Fridays into Saturdays. So we meet Friday night at 11:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we go into prayer for a couple of hours. And so you can join us there. If you want a one-on-one, we also do one-on-ones. We're not marriage experts. We're not therapists. We're not licensed. None of that. But God has given us wisdom for singles. And so if you want to talk to us, that is available as well. Also, we have an ebook for ladies. Ladies, if you are wondering if there's anything wrong with you, I wouldn't say that there was something wrong with you. I just think that you're out of alignment. We think you're out of alignment. That was what our story was. And out of alignment just means that you're being disobedient, maybe in some areas, things you could be saying out of your mouth. Maybe you're holding some resentment, some unforgiveness, some generational patterns that this is just who I am. This is what my mama did. This is what my aunts did. This is what my grandmama did. And I ain't changing for nobody. Well, those things like that, they could be repelling people away. And so this ebook is for you. So I highly encourage. I wrote the book just for the ladies, and so if you want that is available as well. And all of that. Did I forget anything? All that you can access all of that at our website, www.godordainedunion.com. Did I say private group? Yes. Private group, one-on-ones, the prayer call, the ebook, all that on our website, and the information is also below. Also, if you want to follow us on IG, that is where our lifestyle, that is,
that's just us in the day-to-day, and our family, loved ones, whoever's, showing up on, in our lives at the time, we will post. So we are on IG. We are a God-Ordained Union. All right. We got to jump into this because we got a comment from someone, and she asked if we can talk about this. This is a rare one, but it needs to be. We got to talk about it. So her comment, and I'm paraphrasing it.
Her comment was, can you talk about marriage and being unhappy in marriage? She said because she believes that that's what her block is that she's looking at marriage as negative, as she wants it, but everything she's hearing people say, once you get married, marriage is, you're going to be unhappy. And so I was sharing with Terrence that I remember years ago, it's been at least 5 years ago, there used to be this clip of T.D. Jakes that used to go around on social media. I remember seeing it a lot on Facebook, and it was a soundbite. So it was just a piece of a clip, maybe
like a snippet.
Yeah, maybe a 30-second snippet, if that long. And I remember him saying, "Oh, you thought that marriage was going to make you happy? Oh, no. Marriage ain't going to make you happy. It will not. Oh, it's you. And it was implying that once you get married, you're going to be very unhappy, and that marriage is more than happiness. And the sad thing is, because we didn't hear the entire, because I don't think that that's what he implied. I don't think that that's what he meant. But people took it, because if you hear it, it sounds like he was saying marriage is an unhappy trap. And that's what it sounds like. And that is a part of a narrative that a lot of people are pushing. And you know what I think? It comes from the people who probably chose the wrong person, or people who are single. Because we got to talk about it, because that is a I think a lot of people really do see marriage as unhappy. Now, on the flip side, there are some of you, or probably most of you, who think that marriage is going to be your happy place. So one side thinks that marriage is going to be an unhappy place, and another side thinks that marriage is going to be a happy place.
Right.
And all right.
So, here's what I want to do. I just want to have a conversation. Okay. And because this can go in all sorts of ways, but I want to have a conversation, and I want to say this first. Happiness is really based upon something happening that makes you feel happy in that moment. Okay. So it's basically based on an experience. You've had something that happy, it made you feel happy, boom. For that moment, you're happy, okay? But happy can change quickly as it came, because it's based on experiences. So we have to be careful in understanding, what we're talking about here, because you get the opportunity to create those experiences. Okay.
Yeah, because one time, we got to say this before we get into this point. So one time we were on live, and y'all know what y'all see was what you get. We don't sugarcoat nothing. And we were on live, and I tried to check Terrence's temperature. And I said, and I don't even think it was a part of the conversation on the live, because there's probably some Q&A. I said, are you happily somebody did make a comment, said something like, you all are beautiful couple. So I said, baby, are you happily married? And he said, sometimes. And I was like,
look,
but what just happened before we hit live? What happened?
We had just gotten into an argument, a disagreement about
something had happened.
So being honest and transparent like we always are, the answer was the truth. But people took it wrong and thinking
they was doing health check. I was getting texts.
Yeah.
I was getting people who were texting and DMing me and saying, did you just hear what your husband said?
Yeah. And it was like, well, yes, she heard it. She asked the question. But the point was, I had to come back and actually explain it on a later video to say I wasn't trying to paint the wrong picture or what have you. I was being honest in the moment, because happiness is about a moment. See, we wasn't talking about joy. We were talking about happiness.
Happiness is moment to moment, things you go through. So it can change from you being happy to sad to whatever else. Joy is a whole different picture, but we wasn't talking about joy.
Right. Joy never leaves. Joy is a fruit. Yeah.
Joy is a fruit of the spirit. So that's why I want to, happiness is about you creating those experiences, because that's where it comes from. That's where, so when you are questioning what you're hearing on social media, and we're hearing a lot, what I don't want people to do is really start putting expectations on marriage to say it's going to bring me happiness. It's going to create my happiness, because it makes me wonder and ask the question, well, are you happy now? In your single season, are you happy? Would you describe yourself as being happy at this very moment?
Which says, are you creating experiences now that makes you happy?
Exactly. Because if you're not, then I think it's the wrong expectation to feel or to think that when you get married, those experiences are going to change, because you're still the same person. Because we talked about marriage being the best personal development program, but at the same token, you're still a part of those experiences. So what are you doing to ensure your happiness now before you get married?
Right.
Because it shouldn't have anything to do with whether or not you're married or not.
Right. And it's almost the thing about happiness and creating experiences. That's what actually attracts you to another person. And so they have those shared experiences. So it goes back to compatibility. So if you're a person who have these happy experiences, like with your gifts, talents, and skills, that's what's going to attract the person. So you thinking that the relationship made you happy or the marriage made you happy, but really it's the shared experience.
Yes.
That makes you happy.
And I mean, let me give you, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you just triggered a thought and I want to share it. I remember speaking to my brother, one of my brothers, and he had just come back from Vegas. And he was telling me, man, Vegas ain't what it used to be and this and that. And, man, I didn't have a good time. And I was like, okay.
Who don't have a good time in Vegas?
Yeah. And I said, well, who did you go with? Did you go with your boys? I mean, who did you go with? And he went with the young lady. And I said, oh, okay. So when I got home, I didn't say anything else, but when I got home, I brought it up to Jill and I said, I just think he didn't have a good time because he was with the wrong person. And I think people overlook that when it comes to marriage and how important compatibility is. So, when she just mentioned compatibility, I was like, we're coming right back to this word when we're talking about happiness. It's like, so you want to be compatible with the person that you
has those shared experiences.
Yeah. Because I'm going to give you an example from our personal life. Before we got married, I was very interested and I love going walking or going hiking. I found out she loves to do the same thing.
That really was my happy place. When I was single, like I would hike around there's this lake in Raleigh. I would hike around that lake, Johnson Lake. I would hike around that lake like a couple of times a week. That was like my happy place. That was so much happiness for me because it was an experience.
So when we got together, one of the first things we did was we went hiking around the lake.
That same lake.
And
shared
even
experience.
Now, we're going on 4 years of marriage, and the one thing we do a lot of is we go hiking or we go walking.
Shared experience.
We love doing those things together. So we're sharing a happy moment that we both experienced in our singleness. We're doing in our marriage.
And taking it to a whole nother level, because then because Terrence, you the one that got me, because I remember you said we got to hike Mara Mountain. I remember you went with one of your colleagues. You were like, okay, I'm going to hike Mara Mountain. And so you got me into like really doing real hiking. And so that's those experiences.
Those are experiences that we both enjoyed that made us happy while we were single, that we combined once we got married. But our compatibility played a big part in that because we found God brought us somebody that has something, in common with what we already like to do. Yeah. So as you're in your, I'm wanting to be married, just think about your happiness is, first of all, ask yourself, are you happy now?
Are you happy now?
And what are you doing to create moments that you're happy more than you're not?
Yeah. I also think about, when I think about this compatibility, if you notice that couples who were high school or college, mainly college sweethearts, you think of, they seem very solid. They seem like they got a happy marriage. And what it is that they've had a lot of happy experiences from college. They've had tons of happy experiences from college, from maybe pledging together to whatever, partying together, achieving together. They've had all of the graduating together, all of these happy experiences, getting their first real job together, all of these experiences.
They've also grown together.
They've grown together. And so when you see this, you say, okay, well, they seem like a happy couple. But the truth of the matter is that they also had their unhappy times as well.
Right.
They see, so you can't even base happiness. You can't place happiness on their relationship. They've just had a lot of happy moments, a lot of happy experiences. And so, it's sad to say that it seems like it's only marriage that's under a microscope, but we don't look at it as in terms of parenting. There's not always happy moments when there's parenting. But we never say, do that mother and child look like they got a happy home, or that you never judge, the parents against their children. And they on social media and they don't look like a happy family. They really don't look like a happy. She don't look like she really happy parenting. He don't look like he really want her to be her. We only do it with couples, and I think
you know why?
Why?
You know why? And I don't want to change the topic of this video, but it's all because those things, being a parent, a lot of times has nothing to do with your purpose.
Well, not in terms of it has I think marriage together, one of the parts of purpose could be to be parents. But as far as the threat is not the parent and the threat is the couple.
The threat is the couple to the enemy.
Right. That's the threat. And that's why there's always an attack on the couple. Like, why place happiness?
And I'm going to share something that we also do that you all know about a lot. Y'all hear about us talking about happy hour. But happy hour started from both of us enjoying our alone time when we were single.
Yes, that was our happy place.
Loved the quality time that we had in our aloneness when we were single, because we were both homebodies. We both did a lot of stuff by ourselves. And when we got together, we created a larger alone time, but now we share it together and we called it happy hour.
We call it happy hour. That's our time when we have home and we cook something or we do.
Even when we go out and she records it and she send y'all the videos.
Yeah, we have, that's our happy hour. Those are our alone times that we merge together, because we were happy in our own single seasons during that
whether
time.
Whether it was going out to eat, whether it was going to a movie, whether it was going to the lake, whatever it was, we was enjoying. Now we do those things together.
We took it to a whole nother level. Somebody said I heard somebody say, a single person, all right, y'all, wish me luck. I'm about to go on my first solo date to a restaurant by myself. And I was like, what? I used to do that all the time. Like, that was my thing. Like that, was my, those were my happy times. I had great happy experiences being home and,
cooking and baking a cake and having, my slow jams playing. And so we just, or watching a movie. Like I was very happy in those times. And so we brought it together and we now call it happy hour.
Right.
And we're happy together doing that. And so, yeah.
So the one thing I think I want to caution this video, okay, or the people watching this video, is we want to ensure that you understand that there are so many people out there that's putting negative expectations and negative stories, things they really didn't have enjoyable times with and happy times with, and they're putting it out there, and they're putting it out there in the name of marriage isn't good for you. Marriage is bad. Marriage is, you're going to be miserable. You're going to feel like you're in jail. You're going to feel like, you like she said in the beginning, in the intro, you're going to feel like, you're giving up yourself. All of this stuff.
Yeah, you feel like you're compromising. You're giving up yourself.
Yeah, it's not true. Okay? Those people have had some unhappy experiences.
Marrying the wrong person, probably.
And they're choosing to emphasize only that on social media.
The unhappy
and so you're listening and you're seeing those things, and now you're starting to think, because you're spending a lot more time listening to negative than positive, you're starting to think that's what all marriages are like. So I want to just caution you to say, look, when you're hearing that, whether it's about marriage or anything, if it's negative and it's starting to change what you think about that, then maybe you're listening too much, or listening to that type of content too much, to where the point is starting to help influence how you think about marriage.
Right. Yeah. If they're sharing negative things, because I love I like the watching people that tells both sides of, so if you're listening to the negative things, one, you got to put it in now perspective that, that is just experiences.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
Unhappy experiences. If you could separate the experiences from the actual relationship, then you can, use wisdom in how you listen even more. Take it in. But the other thing, which I just forgot my other point, but you gotta look at it from the point of you're just listening to somebody's one-sided experience. But then you gotta also take into account, because this is the thing, a lot of couples are out there, they got they're posting videos, they're influencers, and they're only showing the happy experiences. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry, they're only showing the good experiences. And so you're, some of you might be looking at it, oh, they're fake, they fake. No, they're not necessarily fake.
Right.
They're only just showing you one part of, their, but those of us who are married, we know. We all know.
Yeah.
You cannot base the marriage on what's happening from day to day.
Yeah, because we understand that there's a ratio almost to where for every good story, there might be one that's not so good.
Yep.
But some people don't feel comfortable
sharing the
being
not
as
so
transparent and showing you the not so good.
Right.
And that's okay. Mm-hmm. That's what they choose to do. Right. You just have to understand that there's two sides to every video you watch.
Right. And those videos, there's some people that you see out there who's showing you the good stuff. That could be their happy place, like getting on here, showing. So that's why they're showing more of that, because those are experiences that make them happy. And so a lot of people you wonder why people showing their business and they got to show all this. Is it because as a couple, they might say, okay, this is when we record together and we create together and we're creating content together. That's when we're very happy. And so we're going to continue to show that part because that's our happy experience. But to base the entire marriage on happiness.
Yeah, because they could also be saying there's so much negative stuff out there. Let us show some of the positive.
Some positive.
And so all they're going to show is positive because they're trying to equal the playing field.
Yeah, and they're trying to show you, there is good. So y'all give us some grace.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about bragging. It's really about
There's a scripture. Let your light so shine so that people can glorify, see your good works and glorify the Father. Like marriage is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's not always happy.
It sure isn't.
It's not always happy, but it's not always sad either.
Right.
Like it depends on what's happening. It just depends on what's, like, for instance, when I 6 months in our marriage, I got laid off from my job. There was a massive layoff. I was very unhappy during that time. Something had happened. And I was very, very unhappy. And did it have an effect on our relationship? It did. It really did. But overall, we had a joyful marriage. We still got a joyful, healthy marriage. But I was very unhappy during that time. It was a very unhappy season. So
I will be careful, very careful, putting expectations on marriage as an institution to say, I need this to make me happy. It's a difference in you being happy in your marriage, but you're not depending on your marriage for you to be happy. So I would just caution you there to say, be careful.
Yeah.
It's like putting realistic expectations on the other person. You don't want to do that.
Right. And I would say the biggest thing that if I can give any advice, I would say make sure the person, well, first of all, it's got to be your person.
Yes.
And make sure your person that there's enough room for the both of you to create new experiences and to. One of the things that a happy experience is when you're building together.
Yes.
So building a home together. And I'm not saying physically like building a custom built home. I'm just saying like, say you had your home, he has his home, but then you come together and you create a home together for the two of you. So you're building almost from ground zero. And you build, even if it's an apartment, but you're coming together and you're building a new environment
to make
together,
a
new experience, and going out and finding things together that you both like, and building that. Those are experiences that makes the both of you, that creates happiness. Right. And so you gotta be with somebody who will, the two of you can create experiences.
Yes.
Whatever they are.
And look, being with the right person is so important when it comes to your happiness. Yes, that's something you want to take in consideration for yourself before you get married, but that person is going to help. That person is going to be the one to support you in everything that you're doing, good, bad, or indifferent. That person is going to be the one that be with you through everything that you're going through. So even now, as you're in your single season and you're thinking about happiness in your marriage, think about it if you're happy now.
Yeah, what experiences are you creating now?
Absolutely.
Whatever happy experience you've created now for yourself, because that's probably going to be how you attract your person. Because people huge. Like to attract to happy people.
Yes.
People want to be with happy people want to be with happy people. Yeah. And so
one of my favorite quotes came from a man named John Whitland. He said, "Set yourself on fire with enthusiasm and the world will come watch you burn." So people love being around exciting people. We can't help ourselves. We love that. So
and we need that.
Absolutely.
So people, and this is the thing, you could be going through something so sad and so you could have lost your job or whatever, and you're going through something so sad, but but first of all, the joy of the Lord, you got the joy of the Lord, which is your strength. Yeah. But to look at it, say, you know what, I just lost my job, but you know what, let's go to the local carnival. Let's go and that right there, or a friend might say, come on, let's go to the carnival. Let's go to a carnival. Let's go to a movie. Let's get that right there is enough to spark happiness, because that's an experience. And so you can't look, you got to create your own happiness.
Yes.
basically.
Yeah. And just know that it's going to be from moment to moment. So if there's a moment when you're not as happy as you was 30 minutes ago, don't sit there and be hard on yourself. Don't sit there and be hard. Just change the atmosphere.
Change the atmosphere.
Change the experience.
What makes you happy? Is it, is it gonna, go to dinner or turn on a movie or eat that slice of cake? What will make you happy?
And listen, if you don't make yourself happy and doing the things that make you happy while you're by yourself, how are you going to do it when you're with someone else? Think
Ain't
about
gonna
that.
happen.
Especially if you don't have a lot in common and they want to do something else to make them happy. And what makes them happy might be the opposite of what makes you happy.
And something that you might even agree on. What make them happy might be gambling or watching porn or, so you got to really, really, happiness is fleeting. It comes in all shapes, colors, all sizes. So you can't base happiness. You can't even equate happiness with marriage.
Yes.
Marriage isn't happiness.
You got to create your own happiness right now, right where you are right now. Moving forward. And then when the person that God has for you show up, they should have their own happiness with them when they meet you.
And then y'all create happy experiences.
Can expound upon it.
But then you're going to have those unhappy times too. That's life.
But that doesn't mean your marriage is unhappy.
Right.
It just means that very moment is unhappy.
Right. So
we hope this got you to thinking a little bit more about where you are right now, how you perceive things. And then I challenge you to go look at what the Lord said. Go look at what the Word says about it, because you have control over changing whether or not you're happy or not.
Right. You sure do.
So with that being said, we look forward to seeing you guys in our next video.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.